Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, let's start with Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, we are continuing our reading of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. I don't remember exactly, but I think we stopped, we have to start from verse number 59 of chapter 16, Ādi Gadādhara. But I'm not sure, but we will just start from 56, just to be sure. So verse 56, Ādi Gadādhara, chapter 16, Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur Mahashay ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ebe nitya Krishna naam Krishnero chintan, sabe mile karite thakah anukshan. Shri Haridas Thakur told all the people who were incarcerated, all the people who were in jail, Shri Haridas Thakur explained the meaning of his Gupta Ashirvad. And after explaining the meaning of his Ashirvad, Shri Haridas Thakur told them, Ebe Nitya Krishna Nam, you chant Krishna Nam always, Nitya. And Krishnera Chintan, and always think of Krishna. Krishna Nam and Krishna Chintan. Sabe Meli Karite Takah Anukshan. You're in jail, all of you come together and you chant Krishna Nam, you think of Krishna. This was the instruction of Srila Haridas Thakur. Similarly, we are also in this material world, which is like a jail. So this instruction of Srila Haridas Thakur is for all of us also. Ebe himsa nahi nahi prajara pidan, Krishna bali kakuvade karah chintan. Ebe himsa nahi nahi prajara pidan. Here you have no envy, no trouble from others, and Krishna bali kakuvade karah chintan. You can call out to Krishna, kakuvade. You can call out to Krishna humbly and karah chintan. You can think of Krishna. There is no problem. You are in jail. You don't have to do any job. You don't have to worry about your family. You can just chant and remember Krishna. Arabara giya vishayete pravartile sabe iha pasa ribe gele dushta mele. If you go out of the jail, you will get attached to material enjoyment. And by bad association, you will forget everything about Krishna. This is what happens when we are in a comfortable situation, we forget Krishna. This is what happened to Sugriv. We know from Shri Valmiki Ramayana how Sugriv forgot Krishna, how Sugriv forgot his promise to Ram because he got his kingdom back. So therefore, we have to be careful of wealth and comforts. Therefore, Shri Kunti Devi, she prays in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. What does she pray? Vipada Shantutat Shashwat, Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru. Shashwat Vipada. Let Vipatti come again and again, eternally. Eternally let troubles and problems come in my life, so that I will remember you. Because whenever there are problems in life, we remember Krishna. Now, Kunti Maharani is not asking for troubles. She is asking for remembrance of Krishna. If troubles and problems in life help me remember Krishna, then let the troubles come. That is the meaning of Kunti Maharani's prayers. So Haridas Thakur is saying, if you go out of the jail, you will forget Krishna. So better you stay here and you remember Krishna humbly. Vishaya thakite Krishna prema nahi hai. Vishayira dure Krishna janiha nischay. Vishaya thakite Krishna prema nahi hai. One cannot achieve Krishna prem as long as one is engaged in sense gratification. Same thing we were reading in the morning in Bhāgavatam, in the Japa session, in the 7th canto. Exact same thing, that as long as we are engaged in sense gratification, we cannot get Krishna. Vishaya thakite Krishna prema nahi hai. If we are running after objects of senses, Vishaya, Indra Tripti, then Krishna prem nahi hai. Vishayira dure Krishna janiha nischay. Krishna always remains far away from such people. Krishna Vishayira dure Krishna janiha nischay. Know for sure that Krishna stays far away from people who engage in sense gratification. Srila Haridas Thakur is saying, this is Mahajan Vakya. Vishaye avishtamana badai janjal stri putra maya jala ei sabakal. Vishaye avishtaman badai janjal. Mind that is absorbed in material enjoyment is the greatest enemy. Who is our enemy? Not the neighbor, not the competitors, not people who scold us. Our real enemy is sitting inside, mind. Mind. Why? Because mind has made friendship with Kam, Lobh, Pratishtha. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moha, Mad, Matsarya. Mind has made friendship. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Kama esha, Krodha esha. Rajoguna samudbhava. Mahashano mahapapma. Vedinam iha vairina. Please know, Arjun, Krishna is saying that Rajogun, Tamogun, Yukt. Because of Rajogun and Tamogun, we get Kam and Krodh. And Kam and Krodh are Vairina. Vairi means enemy. And Mahashano, Mahapapma, they are the cause of great sin. And Mahashano, they are all devouring. Ashan means to eat. Yat karoshya dashnashi, we say, na? So Mahashano, it eats away everything. Eats away our life, anger, lust, kama esha, krodha esha. So Shri Haridas Thakur is saying, Stri, Putra, Maya Jal, ei sabakal. Attachment to wife, attachment to children is the binding rope of illusion that leads to death, Kal. Daive kona bhagyavana sadhu sangha paye, vishaye avesha chhadi krishnera bhajaye. How beautiful. So this is our situation. We are attached to family life. We are attached to objects of our senses, things that give pleasure to our indriya. Indriya tripti vishay. We are very attached to those things. So what is the solution? Daive kona bhagyavana sadhu sangha paye, vishaye avesha chhadi krishnera bhajaye. If by some bhagya we get sadhu sangha, then we understand, what am I doing? I'm wasting my life running after sense objects, running after sense gratification, forgetting Krishna. And then we come to our senses. So therefore, the only solution out of this world is sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha. Once Srila Prabhupada was asked that out of these 9 limbs, which limb is most important? Bhajanera madhyashreshta navavidha bhakti. Krishna prema Krishna dite dhare mahashakti. Srila Rupa Goswami describes 64 limbs of bhakti in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Mahaprabhu says that is all bhajan. 64 limbs bhajan. Bhajaner madhyashresht navavidha bhakti. Out of 64 items, 9 items are most important. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedam. But out of these, which are the best? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Tar madhya sarvashresh Nam Sankirtan. Nam Sankirtan is the most important. When Srila Prabhupada was asked, out of these 9 limbs, which limb is most powerful? Or there is no difference between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Vakya and Srila Prabhupada's Vakya, because Srila Prabhupada is Gauravani Pracharine. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine. So Srila Prabhupada is doing Gauravani Prachar. Gauranga Mahaprabhu says, Tar Madhya Sarvashresh Nam Sankirtan. And when our Srila Prabhupada was asked by a disciple, of the 9 limbs, if I have to hold on to one limb, which limb would that be? Guess what Prabhupada said? Prabhupada said, Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha. Because what Nam Sankirtan you will do alone? Yes, the most powerful is Nam Sankirtan, if you do it. But Prabhupada said, rascal, alone you cannot do Kirtan. You'll only watch TV and read newspapers. Sadhu Sangha. If you are in Sadhu Sangha, then Kirtan will happen. If you go away from the association of devotees, you will be lost. Maya Devi will take you away. So Prabhupada said, always be in the association of devotees, always be in satsang. So that's very important. Daive kona bhagyavan sadhu sangha paye. Vishay avesha chadi. To give up attachment to sense objects, we need sadhu sangha. Is it possible that we are sitting in front of a sadhu, hearing Bhagavatam class? Imagine Mukta Sangha Prabhu. You are sitting in the presence of Shripad Vaisheshika Maharaj. Will even the thought of sense gratification come when you are sitting and hearing Harikatha? No. That is the prabhav of Sadhu Sangha. So we should always be in Sadhu Sangha. Always. That's why, see, in Kali Yuga, we are very unfortunate. We are Manda Buddhi, Alpa Ayush, always disturbed. But there is also good things in Kali Yuga. We have internet, we have YouTube, we have ISKCON Desire Tree. So we can keep in touch with sadhus. Sadhus are there on YouTube and ISKCON Desire Tree, right? Sadhus are there. We can put on the flash drive also all the lectures, download them, and always be in the association of the Mahabhagavats. Always be in the association of the pure devotees through their Vani, through their Kirtan, through their Katha. That we must do, because we are fools. Previously, people could hear one lecture from Gurudev and they would remember it all their life and they would live their life based on what they heard. Correct? Shaunakadi Rishi, how many times they heard? Did they tell Sutta Goswami, Fir se bolo, Fir se bolo. Again come. We will arrange Bhagavad Katha again and again. No, once they heard, enough. They were so pure. Once they would hear, they would never forget. That was the power of their purity. But now we are very impure. We hear in the morning, by evening we have forgotten. So what we have to do? Morning, afternoon, evening, we have to keep hearing, keep chanting, keep hearing. Prahlad Maharaj, Bichara, once in the mother's womb he heard. After that, never got any satsang. Surrounded by all demons. But did he forget? No. In fact, he was able to convert and preach his classmates into devotees. Dekho, once in the womb he heard. And we keep forgetting. So we should not forget. We have to keep hearing. If we are fools, keep revising. Intelligent students, they can read once, twice, and they will remember, they will crack the exam. But foolish students like me, because we are fools, we should just keep reading again and again. Every day, I need satsang all the time. I need to chant all the time. I need to hear all the time. I need kirtan going on all the time. Even when we are doing work, in the background, kirtan should be there. Masta kirtan laake, we should do our work. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. खाइते शुइते यथा नाम ले देश काल नियम नहीं सर्व सिद्धि है. देखो सतयुग में ऐसा कोई बोल सकता है क्या कि हम खाते पीते ध्यान करेंगे? नहीं, we have to sit on a कुशासन, पद्मासन लगा के एकदम straight back. खाइते शुइते कलयुग में खाइते शुइते यथा नाम ले देश काल नियम नहीं सर्व सिद्धि है. महाप्रभु सिंह चैतन्य चरितामृत. बंदी था कहे न आशीर्वाद नाही करी विषय पासार अहर निशा बलि हरि. सेई सब अपराध हबे पुनर्बार विषयेर धर्म ए सुन कथा सार. सुनो कथा सार. सार बात. In conclusion, the nature of material enjoyment is that one makes the same mistake again and again. Sei sab aparad habe punarbar vishayera dharma ei. This is the nature of Vishaya, sense gratification. Shuna katha sar. What is sense gratification, my dear friends? The senses, eyes, skin, tongue, nose, ears, genitals, they want to experience something. They want the object of their enjoyment. Senses, sense objects. Indriya and Vishaya, they want. And the mind helps the senses get to their sense objects. That is a job of the mind. But intelligence is supposed to discriminate. No, 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 no. This is illegal. This cannot be done. This is not good. But the corrupt intelligence that we have, corrupt intelligence becomes a friend of the mind and rationalizes. No, 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 you must do. Yes, yes, you must do. Yes, Gita, Krishna may say, but you must do this. This will make you happy. Isme bahut aanand hai. A lot of enjoyment is there. You do this. Intelligence convinces the mind and assists the mind in making plans to break the regulative principles. And we do it, and we feel a rush, we feel some pleasure, and then it's gone. And then we say, now, never I will do it again. But aisa kabhi hota hai kya? Never I will do it again. Again and again we want to do it. Again and again we want to do it. That is just the nature, because it is like scratching an itch. Actually, in India, we don't have, but in America, there is a plant called poison ivy. I don't know if it is there in India also, but poison ivy, and I have seen patients with a rash. A very nice example I like to give. Poison ivy, it causes an allergic reaction in the skin where there is tremendous itching. And the poison ivy plant puts that antigen in the skin where there is contact, which causes the allergic reaction and itching. And when you scratch it, it spreads. And then it comes on the hand also. And you touch your face, it will go on your face. So the more you scratch it, the worse it gets. While scratching, you feel, okay, what a relief. Now it will go away. But then again, it starts itching, and it starts itching everywhere else also. Sometimes when the pediatric patients, they get this poison ivy, we have to actually even like tie mittens to their hand, tie their hand so they don't scratch. It's so bad, because they scratch, it's going to get worse. You have to tolerate. That's similarly with the sense gratification. Difficult as it may be, we must tolerate. There is no other way. We have to tolerate. Because if we indulge, it will make the senses even more powerful. It will make the wicked enemy mind even more powerful. And every time we indulge, we are creating a samskar, kusamskar, bad samskar. And then later on, we have to deal with all those negative conditionings, negative impressions. So we are just making it more and more difficult for us, for ourselves to get Krishna. Best is to tolerate. Punah punas charvita charvananam. Prahlad Maharaj says, same thing. Sei sab aparadha have punarbar vishayara dharmai shuna kathasar. Bandithaka hena ashirvada nahi kari vishaya pasara ahar nisha bala hari. Therefore, Bandithaka hena ashirvad nahi kari. I did not mean to say that you stay in the prison. Haridas Thakur is saying. Vishaya pasara ahar nisha bala hari. My thing was that what I meant to say, give up thoughts of sense gratification. Vishaya pasar. And do what? We cannot just give up sense gratification. We need some Param Dishwani was, we need some higher taste. We need some positive activity. Not just negative. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. But what do I do? Ahar nisha bala hari. Day and night, you say Hari Hari. This is the instruction of Haridas Thakur. Chale kari lama ami ei ashirvad tilardhe ka na bhaviha tomara vishad. Do not even slightly do vishad, lament. Don't lament. I have given you this blessing in a ambiguous way. Chala ashirvad. It appears like a curse. Stay here in jail. But actually it is a ashirvad. So understand my ashirvad and day and night chant Hari Hari and give up thoughts of sense gratification. Sarva jiva prati daya darshana amar Krishna dridha bhakti hauka toma sabakar. I glance mercifully on all living entities. Sarva jiva prati daya darshana amar. Haridas Thakur is saying, I do daya drishti on everyone. Krishna dridha bhakti hauka toma sabakar. May all of you have strong devotion towards Krishna. Chinta nahi dina dui tinera bhitare bandhana guchibe ei kahilu tomare. Haridas Thakur said, Chinta nahi, don't worry, chinta mat karo. Dina dui tinera bhitare bandhana ghuchibe ei kahilu tumare. In 2-3 days, you will be released from prison. Rest assured, I am telling you. Vishayete thaka kiba thaka yathatha ei buddhi kabuna pasariha sarvatha. Whether you are householder or renunciant, whatever you are, don't forget these instructions at any cost. Ei buddhi kabuna pasariya sarvatha. Don't forget these instructions. This is very important, my dear friends. Whenever we get satsang, whenever we get instructions from our Guru Varga, important thing is that we should not forget. Problem is we hear and then we forget. Later on, we forget. That is the problem. So we have to hear and make sure that we never forget the instructions. And the only way to never forget the instructions in Kali Yuga practically is to write them down, read them again and again, or hear them again and again, and do chintan. We have to meditate on the instructions we have received and always remember them. Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj received 50 instructions from Srila Prabhupada, and he has written them down. And one by one, once Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj had come to Atlanta, this was I think 2017 or 18. In a class, he said, any questions? So I asked him a question. That day, actually it was summer season, that day it happened to be the disappearance day of Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. And I knew from my Guru Maharaj that Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj had visited Gita Nagari. He had gone there in 2005 to meet Srila Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj when Srila Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj was leaving his body. Many Prabhupada disciples went there to meet, and Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj also had gone. So I knew he had gone. So I asked Maharaj, today is the Tirabhav Tithi of Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. Can you share some things that you experienced when you met him in Gita Nagari during his last days? So Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj said, it is not proper to share it in public, but Srila Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj gave me 5 instructions, and I have fulfilled 3 of them, 2 are still remaining, he told me. So he remembered. This was 2017 or 18, and Srila Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj passed away in 2005. He went back to the spiritual world in 2005. So it had been 12-13 years, and still Maharaj remembered what Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj had. Even he instructed my Guru Maharaj also, Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj, that Maharaj, you should write a autobiography. Now he knew Maharaj will never write about himself. Maharaj said, what? Write an autobiography about myself? No, that would be such an act of arrogance. Srila Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj held Maharaj's hand, and with tears in his eyes, he said, promise this dying man on his deathbed that you will write your autobiography. It is not just your story. It is the story of a sadhak, which will give inspiration to so many devotees in the future. So please write it. Don't let it get lost. Maharaj said, but it is such an act of arrogance to write about myself. As devotees, we are not supposed to speak about ourselves. To write about myself, it's such an act of arrogance. Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj said, it would be an act of arrogance to not share it with the world. What experiences Krishna has given you, to not share them with the world would be an act of arrogance. Maharaj said, but there is one more problem. Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj said, what? Srila Radhanath Maharaj said, if I honestly write what I have experienced in this life, no one will believe. No one will believe. So Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj said, whatever you think, people can understand you right. Other things you can omit. So, yes, we receive instructions from our God brothers, from our Guru Maharaj, from senior devotees. The important thing is we should never forget them. We should never forget them. Haridas Thakur is instructed, don't forget. And if we talk too much, we are always distracted, just talking, then we forget. Important thing is to be quiet and do manan. What have I received? What I have been told? What I am going to do? Constantly. You have to meditate. A devotee should be antarmukh. Should be inward, not talking. Srila Bhakti Rasamrita Swami Maharaj says, what is the meaning of preaching? Srila Bhakti Swami Maharaj says preaching means to be a good devotee. And when necessary, speak a little. Preaching doesn't mean just sitting on the Vyasasana and speaking. Preaching means to be a good devotee. And when necessary, speak a little bit. Says it's very important. So, don't forget his instruction at any cost, he says. Bandi sakalera kari shubhanusandhan aile na mulukera adhipati sthan. Hare Krishna. Aile na mulukera adhipati sthan. After offering the prisoners his best wishes, Kari Shubha Anusandhan, Haridas Thakur went before the Muslim governor. Hare Krishna. Ati manohara teja dekhi yatahan, parama gaurave vasi bare dila sthan. When the governor saw Srila Haridas Thakur's brilliant effulgence, he respectfully offered him a seat. Bandhi the, he was a prisoner, but he was given a seat. Parama gaurave, with great respect. Vasi bare dila sthan. He said, you sit here. आपने जिज्ञासे तारे मुलुके रपति केने भाई तोमारा की रूप देखी मती. Then the governor inquired from Srila Haridas Thakur, Kene bhai, my dear brother, why do you have such a mentality? Kene tomar ki rupa dekhi mati. What is your mentality? What is going on? Kata bhagye dekha tumi hai ya chayavan tabe kene hindura achare dehaman. Kata bhagya, with such fortune, tumi hai ya chayavan. With such a great fortune, you have been born as a Muslim. Tabe kene hindura achare dehaman. With great fortune you are born as a Muslim, then why do you follow the religious practices of the Hindus? Amara Hindure dekhi nahi khaiba taha chhada hai tumi mahavamsha jat. We don't even eat bhat, rice that's been touched by the Hindus. In those days, the Muslims, they did not even eat rice touched by the Hindus. They were such carefully they would follow their own religion, and the Hindus would do the same. So why are you degrading yourself? You have been born in a high family. Taha chhada hai tumi mahavamsha jat. He's saying you are born in a mahavamsha jat, the Muslim jat. Why are you giving that up? Jati dharma langhi kara anya vyavahar paraloke ke maneva paiba nistar. You are transgressing the religion that you are supposed to follow by birth. How will you attain salvation? Paraloke ke maneva paiba nistar. How you will attain salvation if you are giving up jati dharma langhi? You are giving up your jati dharma. Na janiya je kichu karila anachar se papa guchha kari kalma uchchar. Whatever sinful activities you have unknowingly performed, Haridas, they can be gucha, they can be cleared. How? By uttering the kalma. In the purport, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ji Maharaj writes, considering that Haridas Thakur was related to him as his brother, fellow Muslim, the Mohammedan governor told him, I want to know why you have been degraded like this. There is no family superior to the Muslim family. By great fortune, you have taken birth in a Muslim family. So why have you accepted the behavior of the inferior Hindus? We do not eat rice touched by the Hindus because they are low class. You have taken birth in a high family. So it is not proper to degrade yourself. How will you be delivered after death if you transgress the Mohammedan religious principles and follow other religious principles? Give up such sinful behavior and recite the Chahara Kalma. Then you will be freed from the sin incurred by following the Hindu religion. Kalma, an Arabic word, means word or statement. Kalma. Kalma refers to a passage from the Holy Quran indicating the acceptance of Prophet Muhammad's Islam religion. So the Muslim governor told Srila Haridas Thakur that you are born in a Muslim family, you better read the Kalma so that you will be cleansed of your sins. Shuni Maya Mohi Tera Vakya Haridas Ano Vishnu Maya Bali Haila Mahahas. Hearing the statement of the governor, Srila Haridas Thakur simply laughed. Haila Mahahas. Simply laughed. Why? Because Maya Mohi Tera Vakya. He understood that this governor is Maya Mohit. He is illusioned by Maya. Ano Vishnu Maya Bali. And Haridas Thakur looked at the governor, laughed and said, how wonderful is the illusory energy of Krishna. Haila Mahahas. Ano Vishnu Maya. This is all Vishnu's Maya. Balite lagila tare madhura uttar shuna bapa sabarai ekai ishwar. Nama matra bheda kare Hindu ye yavane paramarthe eka kahe korane purane. Very beautiful verses. Please listen carefully. Srila Haridas Thakur is saying, Balite lagila tare madhura uttar. Very sweetly, Srila Haridas Thakur spoke. He was not rude. He was not angry. Very sweetly, Srila Haridas Thakur said to the Muslim governor, listen, dear sir, Shuna Bap. He's calling him Bap. My father. Shuna Bap. Listen, dear sir. Sabarai Ekai Ishwar. Please listen. The Supreme Lord of all is one. Whether one is a Hindu, whether one is a Christian, whether one is a Jew, whether one is a Muslim, whether one is a Sikh, whether one is atheist, agnostic. God is only one. There can be only one God, Supreme God. The Supreme God is only one. The Hindus and Muslims differentiate God only by name. So beautiful. Nama matra bheda kare Hinduye Yavane. Yavane means the meat eaters. Muslims. Muslims means Yavan. And Hindu means Hindus. Nama matra bheda kare Hinduye Yavane. Hindus and Muslims, they have the same God. Naam matra bhed. The difference is only in the name. They say Allah, we say Krishna. Paramarth eka kahe Korane Purane. Quran and Puran. Quran and Puran. Paramarth eka kahe. Both Quran of the Muslims and Puran of the Hindus, it says the one thing, one Paramartha. This is confirmed in the Puranas and the Quran, that Ishwar is only one, God is only one. Still displaying, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada writes in the purport, still displaying causeless mercy on the Muslim governor, Thakur Haridas began to sweetly speak as follows, quote, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is one, eternal, non-dual, and the Lord of all living entities. That one Lord is the controller of the Muslims, Hindus, young, old, male, female, everyone. Hindus and Muslims who are ignorant of the science of the Supreme God foolishly oppose each other by concocting two different gods with different names. But when they give up such discrimination and difference of opinion and indifferently consider their respective religious scriptures, the Puran and the Quran, then they will never find such differences in the Supreme Absolute Truth. Haribo. Eka Shudha Nitya Vastu Akhanda Avyay Paripurna Haya Vaise Sabara Hriday. Ek Shuddha, pure, Nitya, eternal Vastu. Vastu we are seeing in Jaiva Dharma. What is Vastu? Vasta Vastu. Akhanda Avyay. It is non-dual, Akhanda, and Avyay, inexhaustible. That Lord, Paripurna Lord, complete, Om Purnamada Purnamidam, Lord sits in the heart. Vaise Sabara Hriday. Vaise Sabara Hriday, sitting in everyone's heart. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hrideshe Arjuna tishtati. That same Lord is sitting in everyone's heart, Hindus and Muslims and Christians and Jews, everyone's heart. The Supreme Lord is pure, free from contamination, and untouched by sinful reactions. Supreme Lord is imperishable and ever existing. The Supreme Lord cannot be divided by secular considerations. The Supreme Lord does not expand or diminish under the control of time factor. Therefore, he resides in the hearts of all living entities, including the Hindus and Muslims, as the one undivided super soul. The same Lord who is situated in the hearts of the Muslims is situated in the hearts of the Hindus. Haribol. But we don't understand. We fight. Kaliyug Prabhav. Sei Prabhu jare jena lao yaen man sei mata karma kare sakala bhuvan. That Lord induces everyone to work in a particular way, and everyone in the entire world acts accordingly. People act accordingly. How Krishna inspires. Se Prabhura nama guna sakala jagate bolena sakale matra nija shastra mate. Nija shastra mate. The names and qualities of that one God are chanted by people according to the injunctions of their respective scriptures. Nija shastra mate. According to their own respective scriptures, people chant the names. Nam namakari bahuda. Nija sarva shaktis. Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Ji writes, the names, forms, qualities, associates, and pastimes of the Supreme Lord are interpreted differently in different parts of the world by different preachers according to their respective scriptures. Text 81. Je Ishwara se punah sabara bhavalay himsa kari le se tahana himsa hai. Srila Haridas Thakur is telling the governor, the Supreme Lord accepts the devotion of everyone. Je Ishwara se punah sabara bhavalay. Bhavgrahi, Janardhan. Sabara bhavalay. But if anyone is envious of his children, then he retaliates. Krishna retaliates. God retaliates. Himsa kari le se tahana himsa hai. Ye athamam prapadyante tam satya bhajamya. If we do himsa towards others, then Krishna will also do himsa against us. As you sow, so shall you reap. Ete ke amare se Ishwara jehena lao ya yachena chitte kari amitena. Therefore, I am simply acting under the inspiration of Supreme Lord. Srila Haridas Thakur says, I am also acting under the inspiration of Supreme Lord. You are also acting under the Supreme Lord. Tesham satayuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. Hindu kule kehajena haya brahman apane asiya haya ichaya yavan. Now listen carefully, my dear friends. Please listen carefully. Srila Haridas Thakur is saying, by his own desire, a Hindu Brahman may also become a Muslim. Hindu vaki kare tare jara jai karma apane je maila tare mariya ki dharma. Srila Haridas Thakur is saying, a Hindu can become a Muslim. What can the Hindus do? If a Hindu becomes a Muslim, what can the Hindus do? That is his karma. The person, it's his choice, it's his karma. If one is already dead, then what is the use of killing him? The living entities achieve appropriate punishment or reward for the activities they perform under the influence of their respective tastes. Avashrame bhoktavyam kritam karma shubhashubham. Therefore, there is no need for separate punishment. It is stated, swakarma phala bhuk puman. Every human being enjoys the fruits of his own karma. Swakarma phala bhuk puman. Mahashaya tumi ebe karaha vichar jadi dosha thake shasti karaha amar. Srila Haridas Thakur is so humble. He's telling the Muslim governor, dear sir, now you can judge. If I am at fault, then you may punish me. He says, if a Hindu becomes a Muslim, what can be done? Similarly, a Muslim may become a Hindu. What can be done? I am a Muslim, but I want to become a Hindu. So what can be done? If you think I am at fault, then should punish. But when a Hindu becomes a Muslim, you don't punish. When a Hindu becomes a Muslim, you don't punish. Now Muslim is becoming a Hindu, you want to punish? When the Lord is one and inspiring different people in different ways. Haridasa Thakurera Susatya Vachan Shuniya Santosha Haila Sakala Yavan. Aha. Hearing Haridas Thakur's conclusively true statements. Haridas Thakurera Susatya Vachan Shuniya Santosha Haila Sakala Yavan. All the Muslims became very satisfied by hearing the Susatya Vachan of Haridas Thakur, that God is one. He inspires different people in different ways. Based on Krishna's inspiration, someone Hindu may become Muslim, Muslim may become Hindu. What can be done? It is their choice. But we should not fight because God is one. Oh, listening to this, everybody was very happy. Sabe eka papikaji muluka patire balile lagila shasti karah ihare. Sabe eka papikaji muluka patire. That Kazi, only the sinful Kazi instigated the governor. Mulukela Pati, governor, instigated him by saying, Shasti Kara, punish him. Punish him. Punish Haridas Thakur, he said. Ei dushta aro dushta karibe eneka yavana kulete amahima ani beka. The Qazi told the Muslim governor, this miscreant will simply create other miscreants and he will bring a bad name to the entire Muslim community. Yavana kulete. He will bring a bad name to the entire Muslim community. Because this Muslim is becoming Hindu, then everybody will follow him. And many Muslims will become Hindus. It will create a problem. Eteke ihara shasti kara bhalamate naheva apana shastra baluka mukhere. Therefore, punish him. Shasti kara. Punish him. How? Bhalamate. In an exemplary way. Nicely punish him. Or at least make him recite the confession from the Quran. Naheva, if not, then apana shastra baluka mukhete. Let him recite the Quran. That way he'll become Muslim. So either let him convert to Islam again or punish him in an exemplary way. Hare Krishna. In the purport, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ji Maharaj writes, the atheist Qazi instigated the governor by complaining against Haridas Thakur as follows, quote, the example of following Hindu principles that Haridas Thakur is setting will certainly bring infamy to the Muslim community. And in the future, many Muslims will bring further defamation and disrepute to the Muslim religion by following Srila Haridas Thakur. Therefore, you should severely punish him as a warning to others, so that this may not happen again. Hare Krishna. Otherwise, Haridas Thakur should personally repent and beg forgiveness for his actions. Then only can he be excused from punishment. Two options. Become a Muslim and repent, or you will be punished severely. Punaha bale mulu kera pati ar bhai apanar shastra bala tabe chinta nai anyatha karibe shasti sabaka jigane baliba o pache ar lagu haiba kene. Hare Krishna. The governor said to Haridas Thakur, governor is Mulu Kerapati. He is the boss of everyone. Boss of the Qazi also. The governor again said to Haridas Thakur, Are bhai, apanara shastra bal tabe chinta nai. My dear brother, just recite the confessions from the Quran, Kalma. Recite. And you will have nothing to worry about. Otherwise, the sinful Qazi, anyatha karibe shasti saba kaji gane. The sinful Qazi will punish you and you will be forced to recite the Quran anyway. In this way, you will be humiliated. Balibao pachear, laghu haiba kene. You will become laghu. You will be humiliated. Haridas Thakur is Guru, not laghu. How can a Guru become laghu? It's the opposite. Not possible. Haridasa bale na je Karana Ishware Tahabai Arakeha Karite na pare. Srila Haridas Thakur responded to the Muslim governor. one cannot do anything other than what the Supreme Lord desires. Je karana Ishware, ara keha karite na paye. What the Ishwar wants, that will happen. What Krishna wants, that will happen. Krishna is Satya Sankalpa. Just one Sankalpa from Krishna and so many Brahmandas are created. So Haridas Thakur is very much aware of this fact. He says, whatever Krishna wants, that will happen. My dear friends, we are coming to one of the most ecstatic verses of the entire Caitanya Bhagavata. So please listen carefully. Text 93. Aparadha anurupa jara jai phal Ishwara se kare iha janiha keval. Srila Haridas Thakur is saying, know for certain that Lord Krishna awards the results of one's offenses. Avashyameva bhoktavyam kritam karma shubhasham. Aparadha anurupa jara jai phal. Aparadh anurup, according to the aparadh we have committed, jara jai phal, whatever reaction one is to get, Ishware se kare iha janiha keval. Please know that Ishwar will give you the phal of your karma. Know for certain that Krishna awards the result of one's offenses. Aparadha anurupa jara jai phal, Ishware se kare iha janiha keval. Purport. The Supreme Lord alone is the bestower of the living entities' fruits of action. Krishna is the Anumanta. Without Krishna's Anumati, nothing can happen. The sense of being the doer, karta aham iti manyate, that living entities bewildered by false ego attribute to themselves. I am the doer, self-made man, my rags to riches story. In the course of their activities, only false pride. And pride cometh before the fall. Only the supreme will of Krishna yields fruits. Although the living entities are instruments, the supreme will of Krishna is most powerful. Tara ichha balavan. Text 94. This text 94 of the 16th chapter of Ādi Gadādhara, my dear friends, is one of the most ecstatic verses of Sri Caitanya Bhagavata. Sri Caitanya Bhagavata, Ādi Gadādhara, chapter 16, text 94. Please listen. This is nectar for your ears and my ears also. I am also listening. Ujjapad Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Mahashay is speaking for our benefit. Khaṇḍa khaṇḍa hai deha jaye jodi prana tabu ami vadanena chadi hari nama. The Muslim governor said, stop chanting Harinam, recite the Kalma. Be a Muslim and chinta nahi. Nothing to worry then. Stop chanting Harinam. Abhi tak theek tha. Haridas Thakur was being very compliant. But now the Muslim governor saying, stop Harinam. So now abhi nikal gaya. Khaṇḍa khaṇḍa hai deha jaye jodi pran tabu ami vadanena chadi Harinam. Harinam. How can a devotee give up Harinam? What has Harinam given us? Everything. Everything. Trini kritya jagat sarvam rajate sakalopari chidanandamayam shuddham harer naam eva kevalam. Tar madhye sarvashresh naam sankirtan niraprade naam lele pabe premadhan. That premdhan is coming through naam. More merciful than Krishna is Krishna naam. Hari sthane aparadhe tare Hari naam. Even if you do aparad to Lord Hari, Harinam is there to protect. If someone says give up chanting of Harinam, how can a devotee accept that? And how can Namacharya accept stop chanting Harinam? Kya karega Muslim governor? What will you do? You will cut? You will cut my body to pieces? You will torture me to death? Khaṇḍa khaṇḍa hai deha jai jadi pran tabe vadane na chadi mushri Harinam. You'll cut my body to pieces. Cut. Do what you want. For this body sake, I will give Harinam. Give up Harinam. Ye sauda hai. No. There is nothing equal to the holy name. For a devotee, Naam is everything. Harer Naam, Harer Naam eva kevalam, kalo nasteva katiranyatha. Kaler dosha nidherajam astyo eka mahan guna. Kirtana deva Krishna se mukta sangha param bhajit. A devotee will never leave Krishna Naam. Because giving up Krishna Naam means giving up the most precious gift that we have in our life. Payoji maine Rama Ratan Dhan payo. How can you give up the true wealth that is there? And this wealth will carry with us birth after birth. Neha Vikram Nashosti Pratyavayana Vidyate. It will never be lost. How can a devotee give up the holy name? A devotee should never give up the holy name. That is the kasauti. That is the test. When the circumstances become unfavorable, are we going to give up our chastity to Nam Prabhu? Yes or no? That is the test. Better to die, but we should never, ever give up the holy name. All Haridas Thakur had to say was, okay, I will not chant Harinam. And then go and silently chant Upamshu or Manasik. But even to say I will give up chanting Harinam, that is an insult to Nam Prabhu. That is being unchaste, unfaithful to Nam. That Nam that gave ecstasy to Haridas Thakur. Chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Haridas Thakur for years was experiencing ecstasy, hair standing on end, tears of love. How can now I be unchaste to Nam? It is a question of chastity. Asking Haridas Thakur to give up Nam is like asking Sita Devi. Just say once that you hate Ram. Not possible. Not possible. Shakyalo bhayitum naham aishwaryena dhanena va ananya raghavenaham bhaskarena prabhayatha. Just like Prabha cannot be separated from Bhaskar, sun rays cannot be separated from sun. Janki says, Ananya Raghavena. I am not separate from my Raghav. Bhaskarena Prabhayatha. You cannot separate me. I will not give up. You can do whatever you want. So that is Haridas Thakur. Khanda khanda hai deha jai jadi pran. Tabu ami vadane na chhadi harinam. He told the Muslim governor on his face, even if my body is cut to pieces and I give up my life, I will never give up chanting Krishna's holy name. This is called Nishtha. This is called Nishtha. So let us remain absorbed in the ecstasy of this verse. Khanda khanda hai deha jai jadi pran. Tabu ami vadane na chhadi harinam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And then Srila Haridas Thakur's Naam Ashray, Srila Haridas Thakur's Pratap. We will see, Krishna willing, next Sunday. Srila Haridas Thakur Mahashay ki jai, Shri Caitanya Bhāgavata ki jai, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur Maharaj ki jai.
Yeah.
Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, who gave us Harinam. Hari Bol. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments? If not, we can end. Yes, Mukta Sangha Prabhu. Please go ahead, Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Prabhu, for sharing wonderful. Prabhu, you said that to remember things or verses or any kind of
instructions,
so we have to write down or we have to repeatedly say. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita that Sarvahasya Bridi Sannivishta Matta Smritir Gnanam Apavanam Chas. Even for you to remember, it is my mercy. So we can as well say that Krishna is not showing mercy on me for remembering things. Even though after trying so much, I can't remember things. So is it my bad or it is because of Krishna's mercy? Because he says even to remember or forget, it's my thing, right? How do we take it?
So Krishna says, Matah smritir jnanam apohanam cha. It's Krishna's mercy that you remembered that verse. Yes, so Krishna says that one can remember because of his empowerment. But Krishna also says, Ye athamam prapadyante tam sathaiva bhajamya. As you approach me, I reward accordingly. So if you sincerely pray to Krishna, that Krishna, I want to remember your instructions. I want to remember the instructions of Shri Guru. So let me always remember your instructions in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Caitanya Charitamrita, and the instructions of Srila Prabhupada and my Guru Maharaj, my Guru Varga. Then Krishna will give us empowerment. Because Krishna says, I will reciprocate. Now, we may not be able to remember the Sanskrit or the Bengali, but whichever is our mother tongue, our native language, if we understand the meaning of those instructions in the Shastra, that is enough. You don't have to remember the verses. If we can remember the verses, first class. But even if we are not able to remember because of whatever our karma or our memory deficiency, but we should be able to remember at least in our mother tongue. What is the meaning in English or our native language? What is the meaning? What is Krishna saying? What are the instructions of Bhagavad Gita? What are the instructions of Srimad Bhagavatam, Caitanya Charitamrita? In our own language, we should be able to understand and remember. Okay, Prabhuji?
Yeah, sure, bro. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So here the Siddhanta is, Ye athamam prapadyante, tam sattva bhajami. If we are sincere, Krishna will give us the ability to remember. We remember so many material things. We remember passwords. So many passwords.
Also, it is Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam.
Yes, Krishna also says, Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. But to whom? Tesham sadatayuktanam bhajatam pritipur. Then Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. So that's the same. If you are sincere, then Krishna will give us the intelligence to remember him. Gajendra remembered, even an elephant body. So it's not just by the verses, but what is the essence that Krishna is giving? What are the instructions? So now in first canto Srimad Bhagavatam, there are verses about the 4 regulative principles. So Dyutta, Panam, all those things are there. But we may not remember those Sanskrit words. But if you simply remember what Srila Prabhupada told us, no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling. What is the difference? You remember that verse, those technical words of Sanskrit, but Sanskrit is not the language that we learned. At least I did not learn. So in our own words. But the important thing is we understand the message in whichever language it is, because Krishna knows all languages. One of the 64 qualities of Krishna is his Sarva Bhashavit. He knows all the languages, even the bird's language, even the cow's language, even the peacock language, Krishna knows. So, yeah, so like that. So therefore, we should know in our own language. And most important thing is we put it in practice. If one knows all the verses, there are people, they may know the full 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita, but they are not practicing anything. What is the use? Or someone may remember the instructions of Bhagavad Gita in English as Prabhupada has given, as it is, and put them into practice, becomes a vegetarian, becomes a devotee of Krishna. Who is better? So important thing is to do bhajan. Like that. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, bro.
So Gita Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I have 2 questions. My first question is about the 3 gunas, that is Sattva, Raja and Tama. So are these demigods or whoever were the great devotees and saints, they were beyond these 3 gunas, Prabhuji? Or if you're at extreme in your devotion, still there is an influence of Sattva guna. So how it is? How does that work? Because only Lord Krishna is known to be as a Trigunatit. So how it works then, Prabhuji?
So Krishna is Triguna-tit. That is true. Krishna is beyond the modes of material nature. He is beyond the laws of karma. He is like a lotus flower, Kamala, above this material world. Name karmani limpanti, name karma phala spriha. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says the law of karma does not affect Krishna. And Krishna says that Daivi esha gunamai mama maya. Daivi esha gunamai mama maya. This maya is gunamai, made of the three modes, sattva gun, rajagun, tamagun. But whose it is? Mama maya. Krishna is saying, boss. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada said, he was Krishna is supreme autocrat. He says, Mama Maya, this is my Maya. Durattaya, for you, very difficult to conquer, he says to all of us. He tells Arjun, Mama Maya Durattaya, Mama Maya. But Mamevaya Prapadyante Maya Metantarantite. Surrender to me, then you become free from Maya, free from the gunas of the Maya. Again, Krishna says, Mam chayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. One who does service to me through bhakti yoga, sa gunan samatitayatan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. That person goes beyond the modes of material nature. So Krishna is Trigunatit. And one who is with Krishna, one who is thinking of Krishna, one who is chanting Krishna, one who is serving Krishna, one who never forgets Krishna, because of his with Krishna, in touch with Krishna, who is Trigunatit, then the devotee also becomes Trigunatit. Mamevaya prapadyante maya metantarantite. So like that. So a devotee is not influenced by sattva gun. A devotee is influenced by Shuddha Sattva Gun. Because devotional service to Krishna is Trigunatit. It is on the Brahman platform. Mam jayo vibhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sa gunan samatitayatan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Because mayadhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacham. This prakriti is under Krishna's control. And this bhinna prakriti actually, it's separate. But devotional service to Krishna is on the platform of Krishna. Vishuddha Sattva. So when a devotee is operating in service to Krishna, that devotee also, that devotee's activities also, the devotee's inspiration also is Vishuddha Sattva. It is beyond Sattva, Rajas and Tama. That's why in the Gayatri Mantra we say Prachodayat. In the Brahma Gayatri Mantra, in the Guru Gayatri Mantra, in the Gaur Gayatri Mantra, and in the Kam Gayatri Mantra, the word Prachodayat comes. Prachodayat means the inspiration that we have to do any activity. In Guru Gayatri, we are saying, oh Guru, you inspire me to do all my activities. Gaur Gayatri, hey Gauranga Mahaprabhu, you inspire me to do all the activities. And in Kam Gayatri Mantra, Radharani, you inspire me, all my activities. So like that. So the inspiration is coming from a spiritual platform. So it is not Sattva Gun, it is Shuddha Sattva Gun, Vishuddha Sattva Gun. Okay, Geeta Mataji? Does
Yes,
that make
Prabhu.
sense? Second
Yes,
question.
Prabhu. Thank you. Second question is about the avasthas, that is Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti. And one beyond this is Turiya Avastha. So what is that lies in Turiya Avastha, Prabhuji? Because that is our conscious, that is there, who is working as a witness, we can say, in Jagrat, in Swapna and in Sushupti. So what is the situation of a devotee in Turiya Avastha?
Same situation where the devotee is acting on the inspiration of Guru Gauranga Gopinath. A devotee is not acting on the inspiration of the three modes of material nature, because this wakefulness, sleep and deep sleep, dream state and deep sleep, Jagran, Swapna and Susupti. Susupti is deep sleep. These three avasthas, they are still within the purview of the three modes of material nature. But a devotee who is beyond these, the next avastha, Turiya Avastha, that devotee is acting under the inspiration, under the guidance of Krishna. That is the meaning. And all activities of devotional service, they come under this category. Pure devotional service is not performed under the influence of the modes of material nature. It is on a spiritual plane when performed purely. So that is the avastha that we want to be in. Is that okay, Mataji?
And who is that one, Prabhuji, who is performing that? what is that? That is a soul, or what is that exactly? I mean, when I read that 11th chapter, Virat Roop, so it is said that God has given that divine vision to Arjun, but that is the realization, Prabhuji. I mean, as per my understanding, I am just discussing. Please correct me. That is not something can be viewed, but that is something can be realized. So, so what is that in Turiya Avastha? I mean, who is the performer in that case?
The performer, I will show you. It's there. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu answers your question in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So it is performed on a spiritual plane. It is performed on the level of the soul, because it is Jivera Swarupa Krishna Nityadas. Correct? So Seva, Krishna Seva, is performed on the level of the soul. And the body is the via medium. It is the instrument of the soul, but the body also becomes aprakrit. Our deha is prakrit deha, correct?
Yes.
But when it is inspired by activities of pure devotional service, then those activities also are performed by a body which is completely spiritualized. And this is something that is achintya. How can a prakrit sharir become aprakrit? Well, it is aprakrit because it is performing service directly to Krishna, who is aprakrit. And I will show you that verse. It's in Caitanya Charitamrita. One second. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is Ante Leela, where Sanatana Goswami comes to meet in the 4th chapter, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where Mahaprabhu says, Diksha Kale Bhakta Kare Atma Samarpan, Sei Kale Krishna Kare Tare Atma Sam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. So, where is that? Diksha.
Advanced mode through.
Actually, let me go and do search only. That will be better.
In the advanced mode, you can search.
Oh, so I don't know how to do that.
Go back.
Sha Kale
192.
It was 192. It was way ahead. So see, Diksha Kale Bhakta Kare Atma Samarpan, Sei Kale Krishna Tare Kare Atma Sam. Krishna makes him like himself. Now see, this is the answer, Gita Mataji. Sei Deha Kare Tara Chidanandamaya, Aprakrita Dehe Tara Charana Bhajay. So Krishna Bhajan is performed in this body which becomes aprakrit. It becomes Chidanandamaya, aprakrit. When the devotee's body is thus transformed in spiritual existence, this is the avastha you're talking about. Then the devotee in that aprakrit deha, in that Chidanandamaya deha, renders service to Krishna. These material hands cannot touch Krishna, cannot worship Krishna, not possible. It is when the devotee's body becomes spiritualized, that's when the real bhakti starts. When there is Atma Samarpan, like we saw in the previous verse. So remember this verse, Chaitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela 4.193. Sei deha kare tare, sei deha kare tar chidanandamay, aprakrita dehe tara charana bhajay. It is through aprakrit deha that Krishna bhakti is performed. Does that answer your question, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So we'll stop.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So Divya Mataji, very quickly, we can take your last question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. What is kalma? Is it so easy to convert someone to Islam just by reading the kalma? I'm just wondering. I mean,
Is it so easy
to convert someone to Islam just by reading kalma? I mean, without changing the person's heart?
No, it is not possible, but that is the that is the belief that if someone reads the kalma, then that person is accepting Islam religion. The reading of the kalma is a sign of accepting Islam religion. Then it is, but one may even read it without meaning it. Then it is not. Real change is change of the heart. So like that. But that was the custom that time. You read the kalma and that is a sign that you have adopted Islam religion. Okay, Mother? Let me quickly look at the chat box. Okay, 192. Thank you.
Krishna.
Okay, thank you very much, dear devotees. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai.
Thank you very much, bro.